Right, and we are now live here in Cape Town, and we are very privileged to have two superstars all the way from Oz. I know that we have Mr. B, and I'm gonna mute you there because I know you're there with your class.
Yeah, good.
Well. There we go. And we have two superstars all the way from Australia. We have Jamie MacDowell, who is a world-renowned guitarist. Are you a guitarist? You are a guitarist?
I am.
And you're not a beatboxer.
No.
Well, you know a little bit.
Sometimes I fill in when Tom gets sick.
Okay.
It's definitely a really bad show.
Okay, all right. And then, of course, we have Thum. Is that your real name or is that your stage name?
No, that's my stage name.
You should have just gone with the real name. That would have been really cool. So Thum, you are a world champion beatboxer.
To a degree. In 2005, a friend and I won the World Championships in the team battle category, but no, I haven't been a solo world champion, no. People put that on,
I mean, is it something that you aspire to achieve?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, there's so many different interpretations of world champion, you know? There's like, it's really ends up who's the best on the day. And I don't know, I prefer to just collaborate, and I prefer the creative process rather than competitive process. For me, it's like much more fulfilling as an artist for me to collaborate with someone and join in rather than try and detract or attain any titles.
Okay, but I mean, if the titles came your way, you wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah,
it's good for business.
Titles like Lord, that'd be a great one to come my way.
That is awesome. Okay, so I see we also have Lynn from the Far East. She's joined us as well, so thank you, Lynn, for joining us. So basically, you know, you have guys who are playing musical shows. You obviously have certain musical talents. Where did it all start? So for you, Jamie, were you always playing guitar, or was it something new? Or?
No, I started really late. I started when I was 18 years old.
No way.
Yeah.
They say you can't learn when you're 18.
Which is evident.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm the poster child for that.
I mean, had you started earlier, then obviously it might have come a little bit easier.
Maybe. And, you know, I did play music when I was much younger, but I didn't put my soul into it. I played trumpet. So I just pushed the buttons and blew through the mouthpiece, but it wasn't really music, it was just making noise. So my brain didn't kick into music until I was 18.
Wow. So there we go. There's hope for those of you that would like to start a musical instrument at a later age. There is hope that good can still come of it. And then, of course, Tom, you obviously played some form of musical instrument, because to do the kinds of things that you do, there's obviously a sense of musicality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it came from playing any instruments. When I was much younger, like much younger in primary school, I played piano and I played flute, but I didn't like either of them particularly. It wasn't until a lot longer after school that I started becoming more interested in music.
Was it the environment where hip hop was big and that type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started out as a graffiti writer and a break dancer. So beatboxing was just a byproduct of that, being into that whole scene. So for me, it was absolutely a hobby until
what happened?
People started paying me, and then that's so that's the only time it became a profession, was when, you know, it became my career.
Okay, look, I mean, with all due respect, you are from Brisbane, so I mean, by virtue of the fact that you're from Brisbane, I mean, I'm sure it's a respectable profession to be a beatboxer. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say, hang on, wait, which Brisbane have you been to?
I mean, there's not much to do with that. I'm kidding. So you obviously picked up the beatboxing. It was pretty cool. You got a lot of attention. You got paid. And then you thought, well, maybe I can expand that a little bit further, and you started entering competitions with mates?
No, it was more that it was before that I entered competitions. It was after, like, you know, going quite well in a few competitions that I went, oh, you know, maybe I can push this further. So it was more of an epiphany, you know, winning some different titles and things a while back, and then going, oh, cool, maybe I can take this further. Maybe this isn't just like a little side project, or like it isn't just a kind of hyperactive habit of mine. Maybe I can push it.
Is it a full-time job for you now?
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, being creative is a full-time job.
Correct.
Whether it just depends on the application of your creativity, really. I mean, if I'm not beatbox, mixing something, or we're working on music together, working on elements of our performance as well, not just the songs themselves. So
the quality of the performance, obviously, that's
I think when you have a passion that you've turned into your career, there are no days off. You can't turn.
Well, it's not work.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know the feeling. For me, this is not work. This is an absolute joy and a pleasure. Now, how did you two get to connect with each other? Because you're obviously not from the same place.
No, 2,000 kilometers apart. We actually met in London in a circus company. So we were both in a circus together.
So your parents must be loving this. Yeah, my son belongs to a circus, but now he's a full-time beatboxer. I mean, does that go down well?
Like goes down like a sort of like fighter plane that's on fire kind of going down.
But they've come to terms with it now.
They have, yeah. I mean, more so come to terms with it now. I think because my parents come from quite an academic background, so they kind of expected me, I guess, to follow in that sort of path.
Creativity is an academic background.
Yeah.
Big supporter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all forms of creativity require a degree of intelligence. So, I mean, it's just once again, how you apply it.
Yeah, but I've heard you beatbox, and your sense of tone and the way you measure the beat, I mean, that's not just something that you can learn. I mean, there's something in you that has that ability.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's like some sort of gear that is more suited to learning that inside, but it definitely was a long learning process for me. So, perhaps it's certain sensibilities that my brain picked up on, but for me, I started terrible. Like I sounded horrible when I started, and it was just learning and learning and learning.
And how did you develop your actual sound?
My actual sound?
I mean, did you develop a signature sound for yourself, or is it just general?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not general beatboxing. I think general beatboxing, there's a lot of very, very technical beatboxers that will beatbox for beatboxers, and it's very impressive. But for me, I like quite a wide array of genres, so I try and incorporate a lot of that stuff into my music. And I like the way that certain layers of voice fit over the top of each other. So like the natural EQ of the human voice, how it will blend in the different layers. So I like the composition kind of element of the things as well, rather than just sitting there with a microphone and going as fast and as hard as I can.
Okay, so now the circus thing panned out quite well because you guys obviously connected, and then you thought, well, let's write some music together. You were playing the guitar at the time?
Yeah, a little bit.
And singing? And then you thought, well, I could bring my sound and your sound together, and we could make something quite unique.
Yeah, at the time I was playing a lot of open mics after the circus shows, just going out and trying to practice my music, because Tom and I were good friends. Then Tom offered to come along with me to the open mics and be my percussion rhythm section.
I mean, that's quite fascinating to know that you've got a human being who is your percussion and rhythm, and you don't have to rely on any tools.
Yeah.
But then he is human, so that means you might have an off day.
Yes.
You might have a sore throat. I mean, surely the
so
sounds.
So he can't hit me with drumsticks as hard as he wants.
I mean, surely the stuff that you do is, I mean, after an hour of performing, must be quite uncomfortable on your mouth and throat. Not anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just muscle memory as well. Like a lot of it, because it isn't vocal. Like especially if I'm just doing like, just keeping a groove. It's the same as talking, except with less strain on my vocal cords.
I would have expected it to be a lot more harsh on the body.
Yeah, if I'm repeating a similar pattern, sometimes I get cramps in my jaw. And
has it ever happened?
Yes.
In a show?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. So I've had to like chill and reassess it, and sometimes also like swallowing saliva down the wrong way in the middle of the show. I've had bugs fly into my mouth twice now.
Is this obviously Oz?
No. This was the other day. Where was that? White Mountain Festival in Drakensberg.
Oh, so you're out in... Oh.
Yeah. And then
100 apologize. Wasn't supposed to happen that way.
yeah, and then another time in Adelaide in South Australia when there was a bit of a plague of crickets or something.
Swallowing crickets is
Yeah.
a little bit different to a fly.
Yeah. And
That
there was
is
a fly,
insane.
and there was yeah.
Wow. So now you guys have been performing for how many years together?
3 years. We started
3
in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, you obviously looking to bring out like CDs and that type of thing. Or have you released anything yet?
We were going to bring out mini discs, but we thought that might be a bit no, we weren't actually.
Well, what about EPs? I mean, you know what's interesting, and I think you would understand this of all people, that you've released songs and then all of a sudden they go to #1 on iTunes in Australia. We had a guy in Cape Town, Matthew Mole.
Yeah.
No one knows Matthew Mole in Cape Town, and then all of a sudden he's got an album that is top of iTunes around the world, and everyone goes, "Where did he come from?" So I mean, and you've met Matthew Mole.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he does a lot of similar stuff where he gets some sounds and he does the loops and that type of thing, and I mean, he's just absolutely talented. Why did we not know about him before? I don't know.
Yeah.
So do we need iTunes to identify the people who are obviously very talented and not just messing around on the guitar?
Well, I think there's a bit of a shift, you know, especially with like internet-based music hosting kind of programs, things like iTunes and SoundCloud. People can become good at music in their bedrooms and then release the music from their bedrooms, you know. So coming from a background of performing where you get better at performing via going out, playing gigs and being noticed by punters, it's quite a different world and a different place that people are growing up in now, where you can literally just create something in your bedroom, put it on the internet, and then it just blows up.
But then, of course, you do get an overflow of stuff that we really shouldn't be listening to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because of social media, you get these things bombarding your inbox and Facebook, and you think, oh, well, I've got to listen to it because someone said that you won't believe how awesome this presentation was, and you watch and go, oh, it wasn't really so awesome. But then someone forwarded your TEDx talk to me, and I mean, I had heard of you before, but I hadn't actually watched the video, and then I thought, there's some serious beatboxing going on there. And then I watched the collaboration of you two. You've done quite a few festivals together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys are I mean, I would have thought that you've been working a lot longer together, because you are quite natural in the way you put your music together.
I think it also has a lot to do with our like personal kind of contact with each other as well, because prior to playing music, we were performing together in the circus. So we'd like already spent a lot of time on tour buses and just making jokes and talking. So I mean, I think that degree of comfort is very apparent when we.
That's amazing. But now you're obviously traveling together. You're going from country to country, which is a wonderful life. But I mean, do you have any plans of where you want to take your music?
Cape Town?
That's a good place. What do you think of Cape Town?
I was loving it.
There we go. So for those of you that are watching, you see, Cape Town really is a draw card. That's John D from Hungary. Hungary is joining us as well. And I see we also have another teacher there from the US. So I mean, we've spoken about how you got into it. We know that you can, because apparently there are videos out there, but we want to see it for ourselves. We want to know how you make those sounds, and we want to see if you can do it without a microphone, and then we'll throw some challenges at you as well.
Oh, God.
We'll see what we can do. All right, so do you want to give us a little bit of an intro into some of the basics of beatboxing, and then you're going to get your guitar ready, because then we want to see how you guys put that stuff together as well.
Yeah. Okay. So when you say an intro into the basics, just like a short tutorial?
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to start beatboxing, what would you advise me to do? I mean, 3 main beats. Is there something that I should know?
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, there's the kick drum, which is the, on a drum kit, you've got the round bass drum, which is like a kind of noise, which is basically like you're saying, bah, bah, but you really want to emphasize the B sound at the start. So you're going, yep, and then you just force the air out, so you're going,
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm taking over your job next. Okay.
So
And then?
that's like quite a plosive sound. So you really want to force it out, and by keeping your lips a little bit loose at the same time. So it's not like a. It's more of a.
Your lips have to be wet when you do it.
I mean, it certainly helps. It certainly helps.
Okay. So you obviously have the paw lip balm just to make sure that you get it right.
Yeah. Gallons.
They're our corporate sponsor.
Oh, are they? They should be. They should be. I mean, wonderful product.
The other one is, hi-hat, which is quite easy, which is just like saying, like a TS noise, but then you want to shorten it, so it's like.
Okay.
Or there's so many different ways you can shape your mouth. And then the last one is a snare. I mean, there's a lot of different snares that I use in the show, depending on to what degree I want them to cut through. You've got a snare that's like a more rounded snare. Then you've got which is like a clap. Then you've got which is
that's sucking in air.
Yeah, it's all sucking in. So, and is sucking in, is going out, is going out, is going
in, out. Okay.
All over the shop. And so, but a really simple one that I like to teach a lot is just it's like you're saying PSH, like that. So you want to keep it nice and short and tight. So you're just going. It's like a really quick little.
But you can see that muscle memory obviously takes over.
Yeah.
You don't really think about it.
And it's certainly not something that you can just instantly pick up like that. I mean, there's certain techniques and ideas that are quite easy to pick up.
You need water. We've got water for you just in case.
Yeah. But a lot of it is just learning and practicing.
Okay, so are you able to string a few of these things together so we can hear how it sounds? And I know that Mr. B and the students there at Jan van Riebeeck are quite excited to actually hear Thum put this all together. So let's hear it.
I'll move this.
You want to get a little bit closer? There we go. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get some photographs.
Here we go, my first internet concert.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
That is awesome, unbelievable. I mean, wow. So, were you doing this? I mean, Mike, was it Ryan over there wants to know? Were you actually doing this in the circus? Was it part of your act?
I was doing that and breakdancing as well, but Jamie was actually an acrobat in the show.
I mean, I don't mean to boast, but I am a little bit of a break dancer myself. I generally break everything, so it probably wasn't a good profession for me to go into.
Yeah.
So now you obviously you're putting all these beats together. You're getting shows and gigs, and then the two of you are putting some nice melodies together. So, I mean, do you write the songs to accommodate the beat, or do you just write the song and then Thum comes in and says, I've got a great beat to put to it?
It's a bit of a degree of kind of.
Yeah, it's different every time. It definitely started that way. I would write the music and Thum would slot Thum in later. But now we perform some songs that I had nothing to do with in Thum, because Thum's a songwriter also.
Okay.
So we perform a lot of some stuff that Thum has written, and I just kind of add my 2 cents to. and then some stuff we've written together, some stuff's mine.
Yeah, we pretty much bring the equivalent of wireframes of songs, and then either like both of us will build around that kind of framework and complement the other creative contributions. So.
Who are your influences?
It's an interesting question. I mean, musically, I like a lot of jazz and soul and blues, funk, hip hop, and all sorts of things like that. But for me, the people that are most influential in my life are kind of like my close friends and people that I can go to with advice or can give me advice, and people that I really trust to give me the absolute truth. So I like to have tangible idols, I guess, rather than these kind of rock star demigods. It's good to like have people that you can reach out to and just be inspired by very easily.
And you, Jamie, who are your influences and people that you look up to?
Jason Mraz has always been a big one for me, especially early on. It still is. But more recently, there's a guy called Alex Rossi from Minneapolis. He plays with a band called Root City. And they've got a really great sound. It's kind of like blues, but sped up. It sounds a lot like funk. I'm pursuing that kind of thing at the moment.
Pursuing that at the moment. So you go through waves and you kind of get a feel that, this is a nice vibe. I want to try and make music like this. And then you think, well, next month, a different flavor.
Yeah, I always get inspired by different things and take that path for a while. And
so you don't have a signature sound per se?
No, I think our signature sound for both of us is the product of all the things that we've pursued in the past. And a lot of our failures too. I find Jason Mraz is the reason I started playing music. I saw him play and I thought I want to do that, exactly that. I want to be him. I want to sound like that, like him. And he has an incredible voice, and something that I don't have the aptitude for. So
it's all about the process,
But in my failing to sound like him, I developed this other thing that now people kind of say, "Oh, I love your voice. I love your quality," which is
good. But now, the one issue that worries me is that with the social media and the ability to share all this content, a lot of stars will gladly go to auto-tune and enhance their performance and then send that out. What is your take on that?
I think that having good music sonically is the best quality. But if your music can't reflect the quality of your live performance, then I find it's kind of not deceitful. It's just going to detract.
A bit of a sellout.
To a degree. I think if you can't perform the songs that you sing, like that you're putting out, then it's not fraudulent, but it's just a little bit deceptive, I think.
Well, I mean, if people came to a concert and you basically sat there and auto-tuned all your stuff, I think that at the end of the day, what would be a worry for you would be that, people are thinking it's not really authentic if it's all auto-tuned. Although you do use a certain level of digital aspect to your music with the loops and that type of thing.
But that's all 100% non-effective. So
I actually had to listen to you to check that it was a real sound. Because some of the sounds that you make with your voice, they just don't sound real. In fact, the guy from Police Academy, when he used to make, you remember?
Michael Winslow.
So he used to make a lot of sounds, and we had him here in South Africa recently, and I honestly thought that those were just sound effects from the movie. Then I realized he really was making those sounds. When I heard you making those with the teeth, vibrating, I realized that it actually is generated from him and obviously from you.
Yeah.
That's quite a skill to have.
Yeah, it's a niche skill to have.
But, I mean, could you cause nonsense at school where you could,
everywhere I go.
Intercom systems and...
Especially on planes. It tends to get a bit terrifying.
That is amazing. So now, I think we need to hear a little bit of your guitar playing because, we've heard a little bit of beatboxing. You've got a guitar with you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And just turn it a little bit that way. There we go.
Shall we play a full song for you? Or do you want
Let's get a full song. Why not? Something that you are particularly connected to, something that you think also showcases the kind of stuff that you like to put out and you want the audience to connect you with.
All right. Should we fit the floor?
Yep. Fit the floor sounds fantastic.
All right.
Feet to floor, like a strong old soul, so it's so fit to walk. Feet to ground, with a barefoot so that that tracks can't be rewound. With body to earth, like a jungle baby, born in skin and dirt. Feet to floor, with a clear head, not so manic anymore. Sometimes these rules and templates seem so hard to follow. And I got myself a scatterbrain that'll make me hard to swallow. Stone me up, juggle me up, toss me around. Do as you please with me, just promise me you put me back down. Sometimes I'm spreading in 5 directions at one time. I get so grim spreading that I wanna go up and cry. Top of bottle it up. Feeling folded deep down inside and I overflow. And a lot undone in the pot. I wonder why I got my feet to the floor. Like a strong old soul, so it's so fit to walk. Feet to ground, with a barefoot so that track can't be rewound. With body to earth, like a jungle baby, born of skin and dirt. With feet to floor, with their head not so many anymore. I'm no messiah, I don't claim to know what's to come. Most fortunes are woven, then so easily come undone. I've always had a strong sense that I'll be alright if I could keep my head constant. Put up with my nonsense, I could justify a career choice that maybe weren't the strongest. I guess that I'm a little bit crazy, but isn't everyone we're human? I never wanted to be anything except what I became. I guess when proceeds out to blame. Ain't it crazy that way we run from a reason? Ain't it crazy how quickly go the seasons? Ain't it crazy that stuff that you believe in? Yeah. Feet to floor, like a strong soul, so it's so fit to war. Feet to ground, with a barefoot so that track thrust. The body to earth, like a jungle baby, born of skin and dirt. Feet to floor, with a clear head, not so many anymore. Feet to floor, like a strong old soul, so it's so fit to war. Feet to ground, with a barefoot so that track can't be rewound. With body to earth, like a jungle baby, born of skin and dirt. Feet to floor, not so many anymore.
Woo! That was awesome. And we're going to live So, hold on, we have this question. Mr. B, you guys have a question.
A few questions from our side over here. I'm going to let Emma go first.
Okay.
Hi. My first question is, what's your favorite song?
Are you asking Tom and Jamie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite song?
You go first.
Oh, I really like a song called Mama Knew Love by an artist called Anthony Hamilton. It's a really killer song, so great.
Oh, that is such a tough question, isn't it? It came
It's like asking what your favorite child is.
Can't ask who your favorite child is, of course not.
Yeah.
And your favorite song?
At the moment, my favorite song today is a song called "Don't Drink the Water," which is by a band called Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, well, we know that Dave. You know, Dave is actually
From
South
Durban,
Africa,
right?
Durbs. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So,
Okay.
introduce-
And then we've got another question.
Who wants to go next?
Sure.
Me.
Johan has got a question here.
Okay.
Where did you learn to do these stuff?
Where did you learn to do your beatboxing and stuff?
Mostly in my room, locked away. Basically, just I taught myself mostly, but nowadays there's so many different tutorials you can check out, and so many different things on the internet that are great learning resources for beatboxers.
I mean, YouTube must be a treasure chest for people who are looking for different ideas.
Absolutely. YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Now, and I just want to say that we have in the USA, Mr. Karnasak, whose class all know you guys very well, and were very upset they couldn't be here with you because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning for them. But they're going to be watching this video afterwards. But they were absolutely blown away by all the videos and stuff that you guys have got online.
Right.
So very big fans. So I did say I would give a shout out to Karnasak and his kids in the US. But now you another question there, Mr. B.
Okay, so Mr. Edge, there's one more question that I want to ask before we go off and do something else. The question I want to ask is, when someone looks at a video of you guys on YouTube, specifically you, Tom, with your beatboxing, they look at it and see, you know, I'd love to be able to do that sort of thing, and they think about what they're good at. But the problem is when they see that, they immediately want to be that good. So I want to know, like, what advice do you have to someone who's got something that they want to get good at, but they just, you know, they've been inspired by a YouTube video, and now they want to take it a step further?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess none of these things can be forced. So, like you were saying, that there's, you know, if there's something that they want to get good at, then practice shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be like a laborious kind of task. It'll just become part of the process, you know, the passionate process of becoming a good artist at whatever you do. I mean, with everything, you have to put time in to create something quality. So, I mean, once you love something like that, it doesn't become practice. It just becomes a byproduct of being passionate. It's just something that will flow out naturally and naturally. And the more passionate you are, the more time you're going to dedicate to it. So I would just say, find the thing that you love and then do it. No,
awesome, awesome. Okay. So from us over here, we are going to go off and do something else, but we just want to say thanks, and everyone's going to come say goodbye. Johan, come wave quickly, quickly. Going to wave goodbye? Thanks, guys.
Bye. Bye.
We'll see ya.
How's it?
And then, of course, Ryan, if you or Jason, I think Jason is still there. Is Jason still there? Possibly. If you guys have any questions, you can just unmute yourself, and you can fire away.
So, how did you guys?
I love it.
Me?
We can. It's just so cool that you're in your car.
Yeah, I'm gonna be late to work, but no, not really. I'm good. How did you guys get started? You know, beatboxing and circus. I mean, how did that come up? Can you hear me?
So now he's early in the morning for him as well. I think he's back. And then I see Atala is joined us from South America. So maybe he might have some questions. Jason, do you have any questions? Ryan, do you have any questions? You want to ask again?
Yeah. So, how did it come up that you guys, you know, picked up the guitar and the beatboxing? I mean, was it you started beatboxing and you picked up the guitar and you guys just hit the road after that?
For us, because we were touring together in a circus, and we would often live in the same apartment, we used to, you know, have our, you know, roommates with that touring company, and guitar for me was a real compulsion, and it's definitely a compulsion for Tom beatboxing. So we were just next to each other all the time playing guitar and beatboxing. So eventually we just decided to play at the same tempo, made it a lot less annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super impressive. So, how did you guys get to the circus? I mean, where was that an option?
Well, I mean, Jamie grew up as an acrobat, and I grew up as a breakdancer, and so there was a production company that just kind of saw us and hired us on those kind of merits, and I was also beatboxing as well, but yeah, I mean, it was a very cultural talent at the past. So we all had all different things going at the same time.
And there's a big circus industry in Australia, so we were just on that. Yeah.
It's funny. When I was younger, I always wanted to run away and join the circus. My parents always wanted me to do it too, but it never happened.
We ran away from the circus.
Yeah, we were there, we got out of there.
Yeah. Oh boy. So I mean, you what can you
Going to be there most of the nights. It's it's Tom and I have become friends in the way we did. It's also a lot of our personality comes through on stage. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of audience,
a little bit of ad-libbing, you kind of get a feel for the audience.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because then it means that you can go see the same show 3 times and get a different experience each time.
Yeah. And for us, we do get a lot of people coming back, which is really good. It means they like the show, but it also puts the pressure on us to continue along that path, making it different every time.
Good.
Yeah, so
But
that's
then
a good thing.
that is a bit of a challenge.
A bit, but it makes us better. Makes us a lot better having to go through that.
And it keeps the show fresh as well. If we had to perform the same show with the same songs, with the same banter and the same jokes, it would just take that passion apart out of performing. It would just become like routine. It'd just be reciting.
Do you ever do impromptu songs that you just think, this is my favorite song, let's just do it for the show, and if you've never rehearsed it before, but you go, let's just give it a bash?
Yeah, all the time.
So can we throw one at you? I'm thinking of a song, and maybe Jason, Jason's probably teaching at the moment, but
I mean, we don't know all the songs.
Yeah. No, that's okay. We'll find a song that you guys know. We have Ryan Bruton in the background. Ryan's also very involved with the festival. So Ryan, you want to throw us a song that you reckon, something that's like contemporary, that they might be able to pull off? Any Taylor Swift songs?
Don't know any Taylor
You
Swift.
don't know any Taylor Swift songs?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys mentioned you like
songs?
Jason Mraz.
Oh, yeah.
You like him?
Yep. Well, at least I do.
Okay. Do you know any? I mean, you just have to, you just have to beatbox to anything he does. Okay. So let's see if we can pull off a Jason Mraz song, and I can see we've got a Talo there from South America. He's I don't know if you've got any students with you, but I'm so glad that you joined us.
All right. What is it?
Well, I don't know what. I'm not sure. What
You want to pick one?
Yeah, I mean,
so we're going to see the creative process here, because you're going to play. You might stop and go, "Why don't you do the beat a little bit differently this way?" As if you were doing a song for the first time.
Okay. All right. Maybe give me 1 second, and I'll just find one that I think will work.
Okay.
It won't take long.
No, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
We've got all the time in the world. This is what online interviews are all about. Oh, Atala has got 4 students with him. So if Atala wants to ask a question or two a little bit later, we will certainly give you a chance. I'm going to film this, of course.
All right. Tom, this is a song called Not So Usual.
Oh, well, that's very fitting for this situation, isn't it?
And it goes, the way I'd play it would be... This is the most unusual story of the most unusual girl. She's painting my picture of the most unusual world. She's Grow out to fame while she's hanging on the wall, and she's calling my name. She's a not so usual. Hey, hey, she's not so usual. She's mostly a ghost, the way she watches over me. She complains when I smoke, but then you do the same to me. She's controlling my brain activity, knowing when I go to sleep. She's gonna catch me when I'm falling high. She's not so usual. How about a few trumpets, Sonny?
Ooh.
She's not so hooked on the drugs like I thought that she was, and never sucking on the line. She's hardly sipping on the wine, and despite of her fight, oh, the roller coaster in, I think I can trust you. Keep me singing differently, and that's fine, cause she's with me now most of the time, trying and saving my life, thinking not of her own. She's always kissing me goodnight when I just need to be alone. She's so sweet, so discreet. She's exactly what I need, not even make believe. Yeah, she's not so usual. Oh, she's not so usual. Ooh, no, no, she's not so usual. Bit of scratch.
It's not unusual.
Woo! That was awesome. Wow. That was amazing. I mean, so that sort of thing. Let's just have a look here. Atalo, do you guys want to ask any questions?
Yes, I have a question for you. How old were you when you started this?
I was 18 when I started playing and singing, and
I was about 15.
15. So that makes it, they've only been doing it for 2 years now. They're pretty young. They're pretty young.
That's a good question. How old are you today?
I'm 29.
I'm 30.
20,000.
Out of interest, do you guys play South American music? Because, you know, South American music's got a nice little beats.
Yeah, we play a little bit of.
Let me see if my students have another question.
Okay, you get a question ready, and they're going to play a little bit of something South American. We think that we need a little bit of Brazilian influence. So what question do you have before they do the Brazilian song? And you can hear we're in the middle of a little restaurant here. The coffee machines are going crazy. We've got a live audience sitting all around here. This is the kind of interview that I absolutely love doing. It's real in-your-face kind of stuff. So what's your question there, Atalo?
Well, I got a little late here. A student of mine has a question. Do you want to ask? He's asking, where do you live? Where are you from?
I live in Melbourne, in Australia.
I'm from Bristol.
Bristol.
Yeah, both from.
Yeah. Okay.
So I do know that we've got a little bit of time left because they're going to have to go to their next gig. So we're going to end off with some Brazilian music. You happy to do that?
Music. Yeah.
And I mean, the percussion, the Brazilian music is, if you ever watch movies like Rio and that sort of thing, they have those, you know, those funny kind of sounds. Yeah, that sort of thing.
I don't know what it's called though.
You ready to give it a go?
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. All right.
When the marimba rhythm starts to play, hold me close, come make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, swaying and smooth, I'm swaying and more.
just like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, come sway with me. Redefine. I don't know the words to the song. Dancers can be on the floor, but my eyes can see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I go weak. Like the light of some baby to fly. Tumbleweed, da-da.
Woo! That was amazing, amazing. So just before
That's the Latin
you guys,
percussion version.
I love it. So just before you run out, where are you performing?
We're performing at the Cape Town Fringe at the Fugard Theatre.
Yep. Okay, and I'm going to be there on Saturday night, so I'm looking forward to that.
7 p.m.
And then what time are your other shows? Are they all at 7 p.m.?
Tonight's at 9 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is at 7 p.m. And also Saturday morning at 11 a.m.
You've also got an 11 a.m. show as well.
Jubilee Hall.
Okay, so if you're watching and you haven't got tickets yet, shame on you. You need to go out and get tickets, because these two are just unbelievably talented and very entertaining. And I can guarantee you it'll be money well worth spent. I mean, it really is the kind of show that, I mean, you give your passion in exchange for the warmth that the audience gives you, and it's a genuine thing.
Yeah,
it's not the kind of stuff that you just go out and do your gig and then you go out and go, oh, what's next, you know? I mean, you really do enjoy what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we have thoroughly enjoyed watching and spending time with you. Thank you very much, Jamie.
Thank
it
you
was
very much.
absolutely awesome.
Thanks.
And
Cheers, mate.
Tom,
Thank you.
I have to also just add that your songwriting, you know, you listen to a lot of songs nowadays, and a lot of people try and pack too much into a song to make it sound sophisticated or overly sophisticated. Some people put way too little in, but nay, I won't mention any particular songs. But then you guys come in and your words just fit with the rhythm, and they've got a nice, pleasant message, and I would love to hear more of what you guys are offering. So I'm definitely looking forward to Saturday night.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys will come along and see the show and come chat to them afterwards. I mean, you guys are obviously after the show.
Yeah, we're out there.
You're out there, brilliant, and come get their autographs, because these guys are going to make it huge very, very soon.
When are you guys?
What's that, Thalo?
When are you guys coming to Oregon?
Oh, Oregon.
So Ryan wants to know when you're coming to Oregon, in the US.
I don't know.
We don't know about the USA. We would love to come there, just as soon as you can get us there, Ryan.
Okay, so we'll start the dialogue. We'll start the dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
He's working on it. And he's the kind of guy that can do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all of you that joined us live from overseas, and for our wonderful audience in the room over here, and of course the people that are watching it live on YouTube. We thank you so much, and guys, we wish you the best of luck and skill. But as I said, we are very excited about seeing you guys in action on stage, because I think that's when the electricity really comes out.
Yeah.
And you guys get to play around, and we get to enjoy that interplay between the audience and you guys.
Yeah.
So
Cheers,
fabulous. So we're going to end the broadcast here. And thank you guys. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.